Few cities in the world boast a transportation network as extensive and bustling as the Mexico City Metro. Millions of people use it daily, and among its labyrinthine tunnels and crowded carriages, chilling stories have emerged that few dare to speak aloud. One of the most infamous is that of the Cursed Carriage, a train that, according to legend, only appears on the darkest, quietest nights, taking with it anyone unfortunate enough to board. It all began in the 1980s when a train on Line 2 mysteriously vanished. According to records, the train had departed from Pino Suárez station heading toward Taxqueña, but never reached its destination. For weeks, authorities searched for answers. They combed the tunnels, reviewed surveillance footage, and interviewed metro workers, but the train and its passengers seemed to have disappeared without a trace. Mark, a university student working late shifts, never believed these tales. To him, they were just urban myths invented by bored passengers to pass the time. But one night, while heading home late after a grueling day, something happened that changed his perspective forever. It was nearly midnight when Mark arrived at Chabacano station. He was exhausted, and the platform was almost deserted. Checking the clock, he realized the last train was about to arrive. The sound of screeching wheels echoed through the tunnel, but as the train pulled up, something felt off. The carriage lights flickered erratically, and the train looked older than those typically in service. Without much thought, he boarded the first carriage. The carriage was nearly empty, save for a few motionless people sitting far apart. Their heads were bowed, and though Mark tried to catch a glimpse of their faces, he felt an unexplainable unease. He sat near the doors, clutching his backpack tightly. That's when he noticed something strange. The carriage had no windows, and the doors didn't open at the stations. With every stop the train passed, the lights inside grew dimmer. Mark tried to read the station names, but instead of names, there were only rusted plaques with illegible engravings. Suddenly, an older man sitting at the far end of the carriage raised his head. His skin was pale, and his eyes sunken. When he spoke, his voice was a barely audible whisper. "You shouldn't have boarded." A chill ran down Mark's spine. He stood up immediately and walked to the doors, trying to pry them open, but they wouldn't budge. The man kept speaking, though now it seemed like he was talking to someone else, someone Mark couldn't see. "She'll be the next one," the man murmured. The train abruptly stopped at a pitch-black station, devoid of lights or any signs of life. The doors creaked open slowly, and the man pointed outside. With no other choice, Mark stepped onto the platform, but when he turned around, the train had vanished. All that remained was a cold, empty tunnel. Mark made it home that night, though he never understood how. The next day, he tried to tell his friends what had happened, but no one believed him. Since that night, he avoids the metro after 10 p.m. and always warns others, if you see a train that doesn't seem to belong, don't get on. Some passengers never come back. If you made it to the end of this chilling story, don't forget to follow our channel, share it with someone who loves horror, and let us know in the comments what other legends or stories you'd like us to tell. Thanks for joining us on this terrifying journey.